As a clinical exercise physiologist, something I'm constantly thinking about is how we actually learn habits that stick. And not just what to do, but how to actually make them part of your life. Of course, there's a ton of ways to do this, but there is an approach I use when I'm working with people or trying to learn something myself that feels really complex or abstract, like healthy eating or living in balance or whatever else. I start by setting a goal that I can track objectively. Then I reflect on what it takes to achieve that goal and how it feels. I then try to recognize if those feelings are sustainable and replicate the systems until they become second nature. Here's a personal example. When I started chasing bodybuilding goals, I needed to hit 8 to 10,000 steps on most days. At first, I would track every single day. But over time, I noticed patterns. Walking with friends helped, taking longer routes worked better, and low step days usually balanced out later in the week when I had more energy. Eventually, I didn't need to track. I just knew how it felt when I was moving enough. And then even outside of pushing my bodybuilding goals, I would hit 10,000 steps anyways. And I know what you're thinking, why not just start with the systems and the subjective feelings? Well, these will be different for everyone. And just starting with those may not be the best route of action, especially with our brains hardwired to be goal-oriented. In our previous example, this might be just saying, walk with friends. There are plenty of people that would much rather walk alone and would achieve a higher step count more easily if they were just listening to music on their walks. Of course, this is a super simple example, but I think it's the kind of learning many could benefit from. The tricky part is using these objective numbers as a tool, but not making them the point. So which objective goals you choose is extremely important, and you need to be able to maintain their neutrality because it's so easy to let the number become the goal, but usually it's what we learn along the way that actually matters. I wrote more about this in a blog. If you want to read through it and you feel like these topics resonate with you, the link will be in my bio.